Well, first up to that high-profile event in Bengaluru where US Ambassador to India Eric Garcetti had a site dedication ceremony for a US consulate in Bengaluru. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar and Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister Shiv Kumar were at the event as well, which marks the first concrete step towards the opening of a US consulate in Bengaluru. Though it may still be a while before consular services or visa services are offered in the city, Bengaluru will become the fifth Indian city to have a US consulate eventually. Remember, the city has a large expat population and thousands of American citizens closely connected living between here and the United States.
It's a great day today for Bengaluru, for India-US relations. And some weeks ago, Ambassador Garcetti told me that it was feasible to open this consulate before he relinquishes his responsibility, and he was wondering whether it would be possible for me to join him. And I told him that I wouldn't miss it for the world.
What a joy it is to be here today, but I want to thank Dr. Jaishankar for the work he has done over decades, not only as somebody who has roots here in this city, but to push this day forward and to push a friendship that is a defining relationship in the world today between the United States and India. Please give him a round of applause. We start together to make sure this beginning plants a seed that will flower for decades to come.
This is a good beginning. We were trying this from the last 22 years. Myself and Krishnaji also, we had a meeting on this occasion those days. And when Krishnaji also was the external affairs, he also tried his best, but it could not happen. But various things came in the middle. But still today is very important for us. I would like to congratulate the US Consulate and US Ambassador for taking up this bold decision, and the government of India also.
Well, there was a domestic Congress versus BJP political exchange as well. Remember, that cannot be stepped aside after BJP MP Tejasvi Surya posted on X thanking Prime Minister Modi and External Affairs Minister Jaishankar for the consulate in Bengaluru. Karnataka's IT Minister Priyank Kharge took to X to hit back accusing Tejasvi Surya of misleading people and pointed out that visa services were still a long way away in Bengaluru. In his tweet, Kharge Jr. argued that it was a collective effort that made a consulate in the city possible.
The opening of the US consulate in Bengaluru signifies the further deepening of the ties between Bengaluru and the United States and the importance of Bengaluru and its global standing. From almost a few decades, this was a very just demand of people of Bengaluru that we need to have a US consulate here. This finally has fructified. I would like to thank on behalf of people of Bengaluru, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and our External Affairs Minister Jaishankar.
It's a remarkable day for Bangalore. I think this will cater to the aspirations of just not individuals but also for the business houses that have been toiling so hard to ensure that there is a more conducive environment for Indo-US trade relations. So I think this is another step forward in the right direction.
Well, let's leave that politics aside. Remember, it is a fact that a full-fledged consular services are still very far away, but this is a symbolic step reiterating Bengaluru largely on that global map. Remember, the city has consular presence from several European countries, Australia, Israel, and even Japan, amongst others. And a US consulate is important, something that's been in the pipeline for many years now. City has thousands of American citizens. And joining me this evening, two prominent faces from the city's startup and VC ecosystem, both US citizens, but Bengalurian, we hope, in spirit. Venk Krishnan, noted venture capital investor, and Anuradha Jagdish, noted social entrepreneur and founder of Connect Me. My first question to you, Venk Krishnan, well, it is largely symbolic. Tell me what it means for the city's expat population.
I think it is a watershed moment to a large extent because, and this was long overdue, and I think we should congratulate all the uh, people who are involved in making this happen. I have personally experienced, being a U.S. citizen, but being a resident of Bangalore, that even to get small things, done for my, renewing my passport or, different things, I need to plan a trip to Chennai, schedule. So I think this is long overdue, and I think it's an exciting time. This is further, exaggerated by the fact that 37% of India's exports, is from Karnataka, right? And especially India's software exports. And it's home to about 33% of India's tech professionals, right? And I think Bangalore has over 2 million IT professionals. So that is in the IT side. But if you look at the venture ecosystem, we have over, on rough estimates, more than 100 VCs operating out of Bangalore, right? And they're all, involved in investing in companies which are innovating. And I think they need a lot of, travel to the US, and many of them struggle because they have to plan a trip to Chennai and so far. So I think this, maybe it will take some more time for some of the services to be added, but I still believe that this is a great step and a great positive moment for Bangalore.
Yes, since you brought in Chennai, I'll come to you in a bit for that. But Anuradha, for a city that's often been portrayed as one that connects better to the Bay Area than to Baitra and Pura in the city, it was a long-awaited thing to have a US consulate, given that several other countries have their consular presence here.
I'm extremely thrilled that the US consulate has opened up in Bengaluru, and I particularly felt that pain 2 years ago when I had to take my parents who are 90 years old to Mumbai for their consular interview. So in terms of many of us who are residing there in the US and have been citizens since 85, 86, we are extremely thrilled that now when we come to our second home here in Bengaluru, all the services will be available locally, and thank all the people involved. Just as my colleague here mentioned, there's so many businesses, and I think of the so many companies we have invested, every company has their development house here in Bangalore. So for all these services, they have to travel elsewhere or wait and I hope this will expedite and make it very easy to set up that bridge further between the Silicon Valley of US and Silicon Valley of India.
Yeah, it's still going to be a while though before you have full-fledged consular services. This is one area, Venk, as an old Chennaiite, where Chennai had the edge over Bengaluru, but eventually it would seem that in the south of India, that edge for Chennai could also go away.
Yeah. No, I think other than, Bangalore has a lot of advantages to Chennai. The weather is awesome. But having said that, I think this is obviously something which we will be, it's a positive development for the professionals as well as expats from the US. And I think the fact that Bangalore is home to 750 multinationals, right? And 370 of them are headquartered in the US, but their offices are their offshore centers or capability centers are in Bangalore. So this is a very, very positive development. And even though it may take some more time for the consular services and others to start, but at least it is in the right direction. And so coming down to, Chennai, obviously Chennai has an advantage in terms of traffic movement, which Bangalore needs to improve over a period. But I think, those are things which are not in our hands.
Anuradha, very, very briefly, you'd get to a consulate faster in Chennai because of lesser traffic. That's the only thing where Chennai could possibly have an edge. Very briefly on that note.
Well, I think there's a huge population which is working between both the countries. And I think there will be enough people who will benefit from the services in Bengaluru versus in Chennai. So I think we probably, as India grows, as India's capacity grows, we need these services in more places. I think we could be
Right.
we could benefit from as many.
Absolutely. I don't think I don't.
And I think,
Absolutely, there's no questioning
Veer,
that.
I
but
want to
that's
add one point. Veer, I want to add one point, and the fact is that there should be more direct flights from Bangalore to the US, both East Coast and West Coast. I think a positive step has been started with the Air India flight. So I think that will be the next step.
As someone pointed out, there's also a demand for a suburban rail in Bangalore, and there are several other local demands as well, not just that. But yes, it's a moment to speak about that event in Bengaluru. Thanks very much there, Venk Krishnan, as well as Anuradha, for joining us. Staying with Karnataka, just a quick update on the local political realities. A day after media reports that 3 Karnataka ministers were issued show-cause notices for statements that fuel talk of political changes in Karnataka and demanding change in state Congress president. Congress General Secretary Randeep Singh Surjewala yesterday had made a statement, and a short while ago DK Shivkumar, the state Congress president and deputy chief minister, had categorically stated in Belagavi that there is no power sharing arrangement and everyone is united in working under the leadership of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah.
We have not discussed anything on power sharing. There is not even a single discussion on any power sharing. Whatever our party tells that we are discussing. Who said there is a power sharing? All our party cadres, people of Karnataka have given us strength. We have given 5 guarantee. BJP is discussing about us because their house is in disorder. There is no order in their house. They wanted to create fake news. So they are telling. There is no question of discussing any power sharing. The entire party will work under the leadership of Siddaramaiah in the government